Hello, welcome back to our channel. My name is Eva and this is Harley. Harley is 1-year-old Dogo Argentino, and today I am coming with actually really helpful and beneficial to you as an owner topic, and this is how to make a Dogo Argentino listen to us, because as we all know, they are a little bit stubborn sometimes, and because they are so independent and all of this combined, sometimes it may be hard to make them do something, if it is with a recall or you just asking them random stuff in the house to do something and they just don't want to do it. So here are my tips and tricks how to make them more obedient, and I hope this video is going to be super helpful for you. So let's go jump right into it. So I have 5 tips, and the first one will be maybe a little bit surprising to some of you, and that's bond with your Dogo Argentino. Okay, if you want your dog to listen to you, you need amazing relationship with your dog. Just like with humans and all, if there is no relationship, if there is no connection, why in the world would we listen to someone? It just doesn't have any sense. But if we like someone, if we respect someone, then we will more likely listen to what they have to say, and we follow their direction. How to bond with your dog, I will make another video on the subject, perhaps next. So if you are interested, then definitely subscribe to this channel and stay tuned. I will definitely try to record on how to bond with your Dogo Argentino, because I think that's number one. If you want your doggo to listen to you, you have to be friends, you have to know each other inside out, and you just can't skip it out. The next one would be make the dog accountable, and whatever you say goes, even just like a small thing. If you say sit and the dog lay down instead, then you have to correct that. You have to make the dog do what you said, because then your obedience won't be solid. And if you really need the dog to do something in the situation when you want the dog to do it, it just won't do it even more, right? So if it's nothing going on in the house and you tell your dog place, and the dog knows the place, okay, the dog needs to know the common place. And let's say the dog, instead of going to its own bed or to the crate, it just goes and lay down in a completely different place. And you may say, well, that's good enough, right? That's good enough. The dog did lay down somewhere. But if you had in your mind a specific place and the dog knows where to go, then you have to correct that dog, in the sense of like gently, move the dog out of the position and redirect to the right spot. Also, repeating the same comment like 5 times, like sit, like Harley, sit. No, you don't do it. You just say things once. And if the dog won't listen, you gently help the dog to do it. Also, make sure that the dog understands what you're saying. Remember, dog doesn't speak our language at all. Dog just speaks body language and the sound, okay? The sound of your voice, the sound of the comment you say. So the word sit doesn't mean anything to the dog, but the way we say it, it's just kind of, put together with the behavior to do. So make sure, first of all, that the dog really and truly understand, okay, what you ask the dog to do. And then correct in a gentle way, have the dog do it if they decide not to do it, and also say it once. Giving the dog a choice to do it or not to do it, it's definitely not a good idea. So be mindful, if you know that the dog may not do something because it doesn't know the behavior very well, then just don't ask the dog to do it, okay? Maybe you can physically grab the dog by the collar, or just find another way, okay, to make that happen if you know that the dog 100% won't do it and that you don't have anything to make the dog do it. So the next one following along would be, make sure that you don't put your dog in a situation that it can make mistakes. And that's a very valuable advice, let me tell you, because if you constantly put your dog in the situation that you know it's not going to listen, or it's just too much for your dog and you, training wise, obedient wise, are not there yet, then just don't try to push yourself there, because just wait until you have the basics, or whatever you need to do more established, and then put your dog in that situation. Because if you don't stand a chance, then you just simply put the message to the dog that listen to you is optional, and you definitely don't want that. So I would definitely keep it in mind. So for example, if you know that your dog may be a little bit reactive, let's say with a specific type of dogs, or doesn't like people, then don't make the dog, don't ask people to, or let the people to pet your dog, and then your dog growls and you have to deal with the situation. Don't just avoid it altogether. Or I don't know, you will go to a Home Depot or Walmart or anywhere with the dog, or to a patio, and you don't have the basics done in that low environment, and you're gonna take your dog there and you ask the dog to sit under the table and not to growl at the waitress. It may be too much. It's just it's just not worth it, and it will definitely make your dog think if it's worth it to even listen to you on any other occasion. The fourth tip would be respect the dog's personality. So in the sense of this, I mean, again, don't put the dog in a situation the dog can't handle, because then it won't listen to you, and you have to be a good leader. The next tip, it would be a good leader to your dog, a fair leader. So if the dog does something good, something you want to see again, reward the dog, okay? If the dog does something you don't want to see anymore, definitely, make that behavior not nice, not pleasant somehow. And you have to be fair, okay? Again, you have to consider how much your dog actually knows. Not how much you think your dog knows, but how much the dog knows. And then you can, pull those consequences, positive or negative. I feel like it can be only positive. Sometimes we have to tell the dog, yes, this is what you did good. No, this is what I don't like to see. Please don't do it again. And speak dog's language, obviously, right? Just don't talk. Just make sure that the dog understand the consequences, why those consequences are applied, and also the dog knows the right choice for the next time, okay? The dog needs to know very clearly what you expect him or her to do. It can't just be that you punish the dog for something the dog simply doesn't understand, like, let's say, recall, right? You calling the dog and you think the dog knows the recall because it came back like 10 times, or it just comes back sometimes to you but not all the time. There can be a chance that the dog actually doesn't know the recall if you officially didn't do it, or even you could be surprised that dogs don't know the word sit. They simply don't know it, and if you punish the dog for not knowing the behavior, then it's just definitely not fair. So that's on you to be sure that the dog knows what it's expected to do, and it was taught that before. We can't expect, unknown behavior and then be mean to the dog for not complying with us. Next thing, kind of go along with the first one, bonding with your dog. So dog sometimes doesn't listen to us simply because everything is more interesting than we are, and it's not what we want to see. We want to be the whole world to the dog. We want the dog to look at us for the direction, and again, you can only do it with bonding. But I wanted to say that whenever I go for a walk with Harley in the neighborhood, especially, maybe, you know, in the forest she is more independent, obviously, but in the neighborhood she keeps looking at me like the entire time. I'm almost, it's really cute. So she wants to walk, she wants me to ask her for things, and you know, she's working for treats all the time. That's the way of bonding as well. But yeah, like that, dogs just always make the dog look at you like you are the god, and you want to, and your family and people in your household, everyone needs to be a good leader and everything to the dog. And how to do it, like obviously the socialization is a little bit too much sometimes. So, you know, there needs to be like a nice balance of like how much we expose the dog to things, to like playing with other dogs or greeting people, because later on everything is more interesting than us, and the dog simply doesn't want to listen to us anymore. So I think this is it for today. Please subscribe if you are new. I would really appreciate if you did it, so me and Harley can grow over here together and I can make more content for you. And leave a comment down below if this video was useful to you. If yes, then what did you benefit the most from? And I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!